Who's
right
filling
now,
the void?
who's filling the void? I do not know. I do not know.
Yeah. Are you concerned?
Yes, absolutely. All the best sides have somebody who sits in the front and...
Right.
either
Is there
breaks
anyone in the
things up-
squad right now who can do that job?
I don't see anybody who can do that. Whether it's Jones, Clark, the kid.
Right.
Thiago can't do it. Harvey Elliott can't do it. Zlobozlai can't do it. McAllister can't do it. So I don't believe right now they have anybody who fits the bill. So, yeah, that would be a...
Well, McAllister and Caicedo at Brighton played deeper. And they used to come and get the ball in really tight areas and were very good in possession, and that was one of Brighton's big strengths, is that the two of them would rotate and they would take the ball in really tight areas, and that allowed them to play out at Brighton, that is. But I wouldn't call McAllister necessarily a defensive midfielder with a defensive nous. He's just somebody that likes to drop a little deeper and start possession off, where Fabinho at his pomp, which wasn't last year, certainly was one of the best defensive midfielders in European football at the time. But yeah, that's good money from Liverpool's perspective, but you look at that midfield and it's not something to write home about at this moment in time.
Robbo, do you agree?
Absolutely. You can always judge a good holding midfield player, because if there's a problem at the centre-back, you think, I could play him there because he can cope with the defensive side of the game. He's quick enough to see danger, he reads danger. All those players you just showed there in that team formation, none of those could do that job. If they had to fill in at centre-back, they couldn't do that. Fabinho, for a little while, had to do that. When Alexander-Arnold went higher up the field, he could get in behind the full-back, he could go and be a third centre-half. So it's going to be a major loss, I think, for Liverpool. They need to sort something out fairly quickly.
And Romeo Lavia has been linked. Obviously, the Southampton player, 40 million for him.
But again, this is a potential player we're talking about.
Right.
Again. We're not, if Liverpool want to be pushing anybody for the Premier League title or Champions League or any of the big prizes, they need somebody who is going to be playing now and who's going to do the job. They can't wait on a Lavia getting better or hoping that Curtis Jones can fill in. That doesn't get you Premier League titles or Champions League titles. So, yeah, it's a big problem right now.
Whether this has come as a surprise or not for Liverpool, because the money's come in from Saudi Arabia and it's too good to turn down. But all the other teams, and most of them, have had a succession plan. When Fernandinho was sort of losing the legs a little bit, Rodri had already come in. We've had Xhaka and Partey at Arsenal, and clearly they've had their eyes firstly on Caicedo in January, which they didn't get, and now Declan Rice. Man United realised that they had to get somebody and went for a slightly ageing, but still very good. What's his name? He's Man United. Come on, is Real Madrid? I forgot. Casemiro. Casemiro.
You should have left him, Robbo. You should have left him, mate.
Why did you?
I'm helpful. You know me. I'm kind. I'm helpful.
Why did you?
You were like, go on.
Listen,
keep going.
I'm not having it. You pair left me hanging there. Of
course we did.
A couple of plums just sitting going like that.
Just wait. We would have come eventually.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah,
no, you wouldn't.
We wouldn't.
Anyway.
We never leave a man behind. Don't worry about that.
You left me. That was a good 10 seconds there. You left me.
Robbo ruined the game.
And you've just 2 weeks away in Vegas and LA, and you're even more horrible than
Wow,
before.
that's what Robbo was saying. I was saying, he described me as nasty. Which was
nasty little man over there.
Meanwhile, Liverpool fans are excited, Stephen. You know why?
Why?
Because Darwin Nunez is scoring in pre-season. This is what Jurgen Klopp had to say about his form. Sometimes a player needs more time, that's how it is. You can see he is a handful with his speed, his goal being there, smelling it and finishing it off. In training, he has looked very good. Now 2 more goals than Chelsea.
Pre-season is what it is.
Right.
Right. But I think the two things that we absolutely know about this player, he is a handful. He's physical, he's fast, he'll play on the shoulder, he'll frighten defenders. The other side of the coin that we know is that if he doesn't improve his finishing, that's a problem.
Let us see the other side of the coin and still...
I knew I was saying that when I said it. Right, but I'm going to look for another phrase. We know that's a... God, why did you come back?
Darwin Nunez is going to be the star for Liverpool this season, Robbo?
Absolutely, I agree with the guys. What's their name? Craig and Steve. You know, he's got everything. He can run in behind. He can win balls in the air. He can play through the inside left position. It was only been his finishing that's let him down. And if a forward keeps getting into those areas, he's going to improve that. And at some point, his confidence will be built. I think he's going to be an exceptional player for Liverpool for several seasons to come and a star of the Premier League next year.
How much do you think he's won in Vegas?
Robbo doesn't gamble.
Yeah.
You know what he's like with this
Secret gambler comes down in the middle of the night.
Secret gambler, Robbo.
Comes down in the middle of the night, old Robbo.
Yeah.
When everybody's in bed, you sneak downstairs. 24/7, isn't it, Vegas?
Yes, it is indeed, yes.
Down he comes, wins a bit of cash.
Except our hotel, which is the only hotel in Las Vegas that shuts at 12 o'clock. You can't get anything. You can't get a drink. You can't get a coffee. You can't get anything. Oh, dear.
Well, here's
What
the thing
hotel
is in
was that?
Vegas, there's only one hotel and there's nowhere else.
I was in a nice hotel, Robbo.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, you were living it up with your family and jollying it up, going out on trips and all that. We've just been working hard. That's all I will say. One of us has been working, the other way to jolly up.
I tell you what a family man you are.
I know, it's great.
Did Rob? I did hear though that Rob would put you in it.
Robbo was trying to stir things up, yes.
There may have been some words
Yes, indeed. Robbo loves that, though, doesn't he?
Standard.
Yeah, exactly.
We are talking about how Liverpool will look up next season. The midfield option, that is really a problem. Like Stevie Nico is saying that we really don't have somebody that we can trust can be a destroyer. Because when you're a midfielder, you need to be like what Fabinho was, a destroyer. You stop any team's attack from actually happening. At the same time, you're able to produce something while you're going forward, passing the ball so that you allow the attacking midfielders, the strikers, to be able to play the ball and go forward. And at the moment, whether they like it or not, whether they say whatever they say, Curtis Jones cannot be the player that we use in that position. Whether they are going to wish of something that happens. Even McAllister, as much as they say that he was playing alongside Moises Caicedo, it doesn't matter. He plays deep, but he's not a destroyer like Mike Caicedo. And that is really, really important for Liverpool if they are going to go forward. We knew Liverpool had a mission for the departed Ox-Chamberlain and Naby Keita. But since Henderson and Fabinho left, you can see that Liverpool really have no idea what they're going to set up, because that setup was meant to actually work with these two in the house, but they're no longer there. Even though they've made so much money, like what Craig was saying there, it's not really going to help the team going forward. And until we find something, until we work on that, we are in trouble come next season, because we are going to be scoring goals. Yes, the strike force is now scoring goals. The Darwin Nunez, the Jota, the Gakpo, or even the Diaz and the Salas, they are scoring and assisting each other. But if we continue leaking goals, that's going to be very, very terrible. And of course, people might say the defense, we need a defender. Yes, we do need a defender, but at the moment, the most important position for Liverpool going into the new season is that midfield option. And you can see other teams have already prepared for that position very, very well. For example, Arsenal struggled with Partey picking up injuries, and it was really a drop from Partey to Jorginho. They brought Declan Rice, who can play the Xhaka role, but at the same time can come and play that position that we're talking about, which is very, very important. And Man City, when Fernandinho was fading, Rodri was already in the game, learning the position, preparing so that he can actually produce something. So they need to find a way. They need to find how they're going to deal with that. And I'm getting tired of being linked with people and not actually signing. We talked about being serious, and we are seeing that Liverpool are going nowhere. Terry and Lee Gunners were talking about it I think 3 days back. They were talking about Liverpool fans. We were pushing other teams, even Arsenal. They're saying that if you want a player, just drop the money. You need to be serious. You want to be challenging. We are not doing the same thing, and we are going to suffer from that. And I'm telling you, it's going to be a problem. Come forward, Darwin Nunez. Yes, Darwin is scoring 4 goals and 1 assist right now in the preseason games. I think we've played around 3 games, if I'm not mistaken. 4 games, in fact. And he's looking so good. And I believe he's actually going to be Lethal Cup this season. He was good. This is not a lie. We saw him getting into those positions else already before we even came to this point. We know what he's capable of doing. But what was missing, and something that we see now that it's actually changing, is him actually turning the opportunity he creates into goals. He has the speed. He knows how to position himself in spaces while he's not offside. He knows how to actually cause problems and be physical enough to get through the defenders. Now it seems like it's going to produce something. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What are you expecting from Liverpool? Click the like button, subscribe to the Connect.